Hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and I hope you have absolutely fabulous day. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a triple side panel gatefold card. If you like it, I really hope you'll feel inspired and craft along with me, especially if you haven't tried this style yet. For my project, I'm going to use a free gift from Creative Stamping Magazine, issue 125. In the magazine, there are amazing projects to try, but the magazine also comes with a four stamp set collection called Music and Song. All these images are gorgeous, and you also get that embossing folder, which you can use for a variety of projects. In Creative Stamping Magazine, on page 44, I was really inspired by Ashley, and I decided to create my own version of this gatefold card, and I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. So, you've got 15 by 42 centimeters white card, and I'm going to score it at 7 centimeters. Then I'm going to score it at 14 centimeters, turn it over 180 degrees, and again score it at 7 and 14 centimeters. And that will give me that gatefold card base. Super quick and simple, right? Using my bone folder from Crafter's Companion, I'm going to burnish all those score lines. So this way, my card will look professionally finished. So if you've never ever tried this card style, I do encourage you to give it a go. It is so much fun. And especially with this free stamp set collection with Creative Stamping Magazine, you can create endless projects. So now it will be time to create some panels and layers for all the sides here. But let's create the first one, and I'm going to use my new trimmer from Craftstash Creative Craft Products, and I have to admit that I absolutely love it. So here I'm going to create all the panels, and I'm going to write the measurement in a second so you can see them. But to be honest, I made a mistake with that biggest panel because I didn't measure the card. But later on, I'm going to show you how to fix it, because the middle panel is 15 by 14 centimeters. And here I started with 15 by 15 centimeters. So later on, I'm just going to cut the ends off, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So here, as you can see, this trimmer works really well. And these will be the panels that will go on the side. So let's write the measurement. So I've got 14.2 by 6.2. And then with the biggest one, I've got 14.2 by 14.2. And then 13.5 by 13.5. But later on, I'm going to trim two sides. So now it is time to create more panels because I need two panels, one for the left and one for the right, with mats and layers, because I really want to give it a vintage vibe. So here I've got 13.5 by 5.5, and I need two of those. So as you can see, I'm going to have a really nice border. If you want, you can take screenshots of all the measurements, and that will be even easier. Just to look at the trimmer here. And I have to say that I was really waiting for that trimmer on Craftstash because I broke mine a couple of weeks ago. And when I saw it come back, I thought, yes, I really want it. And I bought it straight away. So if you're not a VIP member on Craftstash, I do encourage you to try it, because you only pay £9.99 a year, but you get 10% off all your purchase and exclusive discounts for VIP members. So here you can see some smaller panels, and in the end, I'm going to need 3 of those. But here I only created 2. So that's what we're going to do later on. So when I'm ready with all those mats and layers for all the panels, it will be time to add some color. And I decided to go with vintage vibes today. And I'm going to start with the biggest panels, and then the smaller ones I'm going to leave on the right hand side. So I'm going to use my Distress Oxide Ink in Ground Espresso color. As you can see, I've got a scrap piece of paper here. Actually, it is a paper I got in that Craftstash order, so I use it just to put it on my glass mat. So now I'm adding the color on all the sides. As you can see, you don't have to worry about the middle part because I'm going to put another layer on top and no one will ever see. So if you don't have a cardstock in that color, please use any inks from your stash. You can also use some alcohol markers and that will be perfectly fine. I wonder, did you get your creative stamping magazine 125? If you haven't, you can check your local supermarket, and if you're a subscriber, you should already have it. And I have to say that those stamped images, I absolutely adore them. So I was so happy to start playing with that stamp set straight away. Now it will be time to use a bond folder because I really want to have that nice professional finish. So whenever you use a trimmer, you can use that trick and no one will ever know that you actually cut those panels yourself. So now it is time for some stamping, and with the biggest panel, I decided to use that girl. But I thought let's add even more interest, especially with that vintage vibe. So I decided to use that girl exactly in the middle, and then the flowers you can see at the top will go in the corners of my panel. And I think that will create very nice, beautiful border. How often do you play with monochromatic elements on your card? I absolutely lost my anti-static bag, so I'm going to use baby powder to prepare my surface. And as you can see, I got rid of the excess of the powder, and then I can use my VersaMark transparent ink because it is a sticky ink, so we can use some heat embossing, and that's exactly what I wanted for the inside of the panel to have that wow effect. How often do you use heat embossing in your card? Do you have your favorite color? Because my totally favorite one is gold. But to be honest, I also love black because it gives you that stained glass window effect very often with stamps. But here, the gold is here because I really want that vintage vibe. So I'm going to use all the browns I can to create that card. Now I'm going to stamp that amazing guitar with all those florals, but I'm going to use Distress Oxide ink because I really want to use that ink because you can spread the color. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. So how often do you use your inks to paint with them? Because you can do it, and I absolutely love this technique. It really gives that wow effect. So here I'm actually creating my own design panels with all the stamps. So sometimes if you're looking for something and you can't find the design paper you want, you can always create your own using the stamps from your stash. And I do encourage you to try it. In the magazine, Ashley actually tells us about the techniques she used to color all the panels for her card. But here, I decided to change the color palette, but also elements I stamp, because I really wanted to give it my own vibe here. And to be honest, I'm very happy with the result. So that brown here from ground espresso is really beautiful. And if you're interested in any of the products I use in today's video, you can check the description down below. And now, to add even more interest, I'm using wet paintbrush to spread that Distress Oxide ink on my card. But here, I do encourage you to use very good quality card. If you do have watercolor card with the smooth finish, that will be perfect as well. So when this is ready, as you can see, this element comes together beautifully and quickly. And that's exactly what I wanted. The whole card together took me about 1 hour and 10 minutes, so I think for that style it wasn't that bad, because I also created all the panels myself. So here I'm using the same Distress Oxide ink and just spreading the color around. But at this point I thought all the colors here are very similar, but there is a trick you can use to add even more dimension, especially using just one Distress Oxide ink. And if you do have your favorite Distress Oxide ink, please let me know what color is it. I really like the browns in that collection, but I also love violets and purples. So here, I'm going to put that Distress Oxide ink on my glass mat, and I'm going to use it straight away. So this way, I'm going to have even darker color on my images. Super cool, right? So sometimes we think, oh, I need all those colors in my stash, but actually you don't. You can dilute it with your water and that will be beautiful. And now it is time to add some extra details on the smaller elements on the flowers and leaves by just adding darker color of Distress Oxide Ink. Super quick and simple, right? But even then, the panels look very empty. So there is a way you can use your smaller stamps to fill all the sides here. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now using just wet paintbrush, I'm just putting it on the smaller panels. So now I've got the flower stamps from that music and song free stamp collection, and I'm going to stamp as many as I can. I just want to fill the spaces, and I don't really want very symmetrical pattern here. I don't care here about it. It is a handmade card, and I really want it to look beautiful. So, using the tea dye Distress Oxide Ink and my ink blending tool, I'm going to apply the color on all the panels. But again, I'm going to use my scrap piece of card underneath, so this way I don't have to clean my glass surface. So what do you think about making your own elements for cards? Do you like it? Or do you prefer the pattern paper you can get? Also from magazines and digital collections, please let me know, what do you prefer? Now I'm using the same flowers here and there, but also in that stamp set collection you also get musical notes. So that's how I'm going to fill even smaller spaces. And I think that will finish off the whole inside element here. And I really, really like it. Have you ever created a card for someone who loves music? If you haven't, this stamp set collection is for you. And what's really good about it, it's free and it's so beautiful and gorgeous. And you can actually use it for so many different occasions. So now when this panel is ready, I'm going to add that tea dye color everywhere. So using my ink blending tool, I'm just spreading the color around. I just don't want to put that color on the girl. I really want to have that interest exactly in the center of the panel. And when this is ready, we can start putting all those elements together. And when this is ready, we need all the borders we created. So I'm going to use my one and only liquid glue, magic glue, and assemble all those panels together. However, as I told you, with the square panel I've got here, I made a mistake. So if you want a different measurement, the biggest brown panel should be 13.2 by 14.2 centimeters, and then the smaller one should be 13.5 by 12.5 centimeters. And when these are all ready, you can assemble them. But as I told you, I'm going to show you how to fix it if you make a mistake like I did. But to be honest, I'm really happy with how this card turned out, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to use that card style for different occasions as well. So now it is time to start putting the panels together. And here, as you can see, it is too big, so I'm going to trim the sides off using my trimmer. Super quick and simple fix, and to be honest, I really like how it turned out, because this way I'm going to have a white border all the way around, and actually that brown border only at the top and the bottom, which makes it even more interesting, right? And again, I'm going to use my liquid glue because I do have time to maneuver all the elements. And I do encourage you to use a liquid glue as well. If you do have your favorite, please let me know in the comments down below. This one is a bookbinding glue, which works so well, especially with any type of card or paper. However, if you do have any other bookbinding glue that you like, please let me know in the comments down below. So now we have to decorate the front panels, and I need 3 panels measuring 15 centimeters by 5 centimeters, and I'm going to stick them as you can see here. So they will create, let's say, like shelves. but I really like them. So with those bigger ones, I'm going to use exactly the same Distress Oxide Ink in ground espresso color because I really like all the elements to match on my project. To use the same technique for your cards, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you do have your favorite Gatefold card style, please let me know. I really like it because the possibilities are endless with that fancy fold. And to be honest, this is my very first Gatefold card this way. And I really like it. With the smaller panels here, measuring 4.2 centimeter by 14.2 centimeter, I'm going to stamp the images from the stamp set collection that is included in that Creative Stamping Magazine issue 125. I really like the swirls on this stamp, so I couldn't resist. I just had to fill all those panels. So now I'm going to use Archival ink for a different image, because I thought, why not? Let's have a little bit different brown as well. So here, first I stamped it on a scrap piece of paper because I really wanted to check if that ink works, because I've got it for over 4 years now, but it's still juicy and it works really nice. So here I've got 2 panels with that keyboard and I really like it. I think it gives such a beautiful effect, and adding that tea dye Distress Oxide ink, it really makes a difference. But I really tried hard to leave that lighter color where the music notes are in the middle. So when these panels are ready, we can assemble them together and put them on the front of a card. And with this card style, there is a trick to it, and I'm going to show you. So the first panel is ready. Now we have to assemble the keyboard. Super quick and simple. And when these are ready, I'm going to start assembling my card from the top. And this is the big trick for you. So, top, and then I'm going to only put the glue on the left hand side, because if you put it along the whole panel, the card will be stuck and we won't be able to open it. So the top is ready, just hold it for a couple of seconds. Then we have to do the bottom panel exactly the same way. And with the middle panel, I'm going to apply the glue on the right hand side. So this way, all the elements will match beautifully, right? So then I thought something is missing on my card. I really like it, how it looks like. But in that free stamp set collection, there is amazing, absolutely amazing element. But first, we need 3 smaller panels. Do you remember when I told you I only made 2? And off camera, I created 1 more, because then I realized we need 3 panels, right? So now it will be time to decorate the front even more. I really tried to keep it as simple as I could. So from the stamp set collection, there is 1 image that I absolutely love. So I'm going to use my baby powder again, because I'm going to do gold heat embossing. And with that image, it really makes a difference. And I think it was literally meant to use gold embossing powder. So when this is ready, I decided to fussy cut it, because in that stamp set collection you don't have any matching dies. But that is absolutely fine. No one will ever know. So I use my scissors from Crafter's Companion, and I also fussy cut it. But first you have to heat set it. And as you can see here, we also have some amazing flowers. And they make me think about magnolia flowers. What do you think about the finished one? And here I also have birthday wishes, gold heat emboss as well, with the same stamp set collection. So using that Distress Oxide ink, ground espresso, and my wet paintbrush, I'm going to color in all the flowers here. So when you tilt the card, the shine will be beautiful and the brown will stay beautiful as well. So whenever you use that technique, you always have to make sure that the paint dries before you assemble all the other elements. So here, I decided to put that image on the left-hand side and the sentiment at the top. And that's how I'm going to start. And with the image on the left, we only put the glue where the middle panel is, because that's how it's going to be attached. And the card will be nearly complete. All we have to do now is to add some gold gems. And when this is ready, the card will be totally complete. So what do you think about the finished card? Would you like to give it a go? I really hope you will, because this one is such an amazing project to create for someone who loves music or something else. And there is plenty of space to write your message on the back. Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if you don't have Creative Stamping Magazine issue 125, I left the link in the description down below. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting! Bye!